Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker with your tarot card reading for the next full moon phase from 10th of September until 26th of September. This one will be in Pisces, so Aries, it feels a little tough, doesn't it, right? But at least you know why it feels tough. I mean, like, Pisces is a little evasive, but it's strong when it comes to feelings, so this is going to boil up, and I bet it's already boiling up. I mean, September is not fucking pretty at all. Holy shit, so much happening astrologically. Now let's see into your cards how you are dealing with that as the cardinal fire sign, right? That being said, it is a general reading, so if the reading resonates with you, feel free to drop a comment, like and subscribe. If the reading doesn't resonate with you, drop the message. Alright, now let's see, we're gonna lay that DNA spread where the spirit axis is in the middle and the energies of the experience are winding around each other, around this spirit axis. Let's see. The overall energy for the reading, well, your soul spot basically, is the Eight of Swords. So, well, your soul trying to grow but being protective about it. So, given the Pisces energy, it is about you drawing a line in the sand, right? Being decisive and protective about who you truly feel, because in the soul spot there are basically no bad cards. It's the lesson the soul wants to learn, and if that is an Eight of Swords right here, then it's about that caterpillar becoming a beautiful butterfly, right? And holding on tightly to what they believe. So this is what you're in right now, is like, fuck no, this kind of energy, right? You're moving into, let's see, like the spot of the 9, there is a decision to be made about how you want to use your fire energy, right? So this is the Two of Wands. This is taking stuff to a next level where you are passionately involved in, right? Making a decision about some project, could be a relationship also, right? So it's like, yeah, it could be like you want to take it to the next level, but it's not working as it's working right now, where you're like, okay, if I do want to like take the next step, but fuck, if you don't respect these boundaries, then this is not going to happen, right? So you're making a decision about like the direction you want this to go, right? And like I said, could be a relationship. For some of you, it's like a working relationship, whatever, but it's very passionate, right? It's not just about logical decisions here. It is about what you need emotionally, and you're trying to hang on to it with your mind right here, right? Which is interesting. I do believe it's very emotional because it's Pisces, for fuck's sake. It's a full moon in Pisces. This is like water energy all over the place. And in the manifestation, there's a star in reverse. So, well, you're going to be sent on your way, in a sense. But it's exactly your path. It is your path, right? It's also an Aquarius energy. I wouldn't give like too much on this, but the star is our guidance system, right? So it means that whatever you're manifesting, it seems to you that your guidance system is off a bit. But as a matter of fact, this card is here. The energy is present, right? The star card is present. So you are well on your way, but you're just kind of missing it, right? You're like, this can't be it. This can't possibly be it, right? So like, if I'm sounding a bit too negative, that is because it's fucking September. I told you guys, fuck, really. I'm trying to take my energy a little bit out the reading, but I feel, and I talk to a lot of people, it is not exactly easy. And well, probably for the water sign, since I'm a Cancer, a little bit more evaporating. But I get with you, it's like you're using all your energy to make a strong decision from the mind about what you truly want here, and then send someone, somebody, some project, or yourself on the way, right? Where you're like, okay, fuck this is not happening. This is not my path. I don't know where I'm going now, but something like that. So it feels to me like there's a decision that needs to be made about boundaries, right? And that doesn't mean that someone is going to leave your life. It could be that they live up to the challenge and respect those boundaries, right? So I'm not projecting anything shady here. It's just like you are making yourself known. So let's see, in the spot of the 1 right here, there's a Son of Swords in reverse. It's not going as fast as you want it to be. it's a little like you are a little like impatient and hasty, but since it's in reverse, it's like you actually want to tell them there's that truth untold, and it sits in your spine basically, right? Yeah, like you don't want to be all Aries about it and want to be like gentle, but actually you need this truth to be told, right? And this truth is still not told, it's not addressed. So let's see, balancing this out, there's a Seven of Swords in reverse, so it's like, well, it is both. It is you trying to be tricky with this, like how can I put this? But it's also about the other's energy, like if it's in a relationship or a business relationship, doesn't matter. Someone took too much for themselves here, right? Someone is taking too much for themselves, and you're like, wait a minute, like are you bullshitting me here? Like this can't be, like where's my cut? Something like that, because it doesn't exactly mean betrayal, right? But the Seven of Swords is the card for taking something for yourself, right? So your challenge in this first row here, where your soul decides there's a truth unspoken, so the challenge is to speak that truth about this bullshit going on here. That's a Seven of Swords. So what you gain from this confrontation right here in the soul level is that the Chariot in reverse. Well, it's about your determination, right? There's something other to this Chariot, and it's probably going to pop up into my mind in the flow of this reading. It's not just because it's a Cancer, right? But usually there is balance in there, you know. So it's basically you realizing something about cosmic balance, like the Chariot is stagnant as long as yin and yang is not in balance, right? As long as because usually there's two horses pulling that Chariot that is not moving at all, right? So if that is in reverse and you're fighting for some truth to be heard, or you just like need it to be addressed, then this Chariot is exactly that, determination but stagnation, and not something is not in balance here, and something that is very pivotal for the motivation of the entire venture or relationship, you know. So let's see, this is the challenge row around the 9, around that decision you need to make. So in the spot of the 4, there's a Mother of Wands in reverse. Well, yeah, it's fucking with your it's both, man. Like it's fucking with your self-worth, right? Because the Mother of Wands, she feels really freaking sexy about herself, and she's just going for it. And on the other hand, she can be a real diva. So whoever narcissistic energy you're encountering here, like my best guess is they don't even realize they're taking so much, right? Because they're somehow in a narcissistic kind of energy. And I do use that term lightly, narcissist, right? Because like, or let's say superior ego, to not use like a diagnosis, right? But it seems to me that they feel so good about themselves that they don't actually know how they kind of mess things up, and make you feel less in the process, right? So that's that Mother of Wands in reverse, and you kind of see that and want to be that Mother of Wands again. So on the other hand, there's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Well, something has to change here, right? And something is changing, right? But well, it's fucking September right now. It's tough to see that the universe is actually working for us, and maybe in your case time is not exactly working for you, because the longer that truth is held back, the greater the bang would be, right? So usually I'm all with the Wheel of Fortune, I'm all like, yeah, actually the universe is working for you, and you know, time heals all wounds, yada yada. With you, I get the idea that as long as as long as you're trying to mentally defend yourself, but not addressing it, not telling anyone about it, that it's eating you up, and it's taking your energy, and it's making you feel shitty about yourself. So time is not exactly working for you here. It's going to take exactly the amount of time you need it to take. So it's always divine, right? But don't hold on to it, and don't hang in there too long, right? Now let's see, moving further into manifestation, how you deal with all those insights, because this is still very much spiritual or like intellectual, because there's a lot of swords, right? So it's a lot in your mind, in your inner world, how you feel betrayed of that person. Maybe they got a good reason for it. Nevertheless, you need to address it, right? So let's see how you manifest this. There is a Son of Pentacles and a Ten of Cups, which is very interesting, because you are manifesting some real good energies out of this. Holy fuck. I mean, like, coming from a Mother of Wands in reverse into a Ten of Cups, that is like, it's an overflow of emotion, but it's also emotions coming to a close where you're like, this is me, deal with it. Like, it could be an emotional outburst that makes you feel real good about yourself in a sense. And on the other hand, there's that energy of being cautious with not breaking something you've built, you know. So but it is a good energy though, because there is something built, right? And it also could be that this will reap a way better response than you think in the beginning, right? Because when you're coming from an honest and honorable place, right? And when you just like display honest emotion, right? No one can hate you for that. Like, as long as you're not using anger and directing it full on towards them. But I don't see that. There is no, like, this ten of Cups is more like being so emotionally available that people can't help but see what they broke here, right? And go into that Son of Pentacles mode is like, okay, I kind of need to like ground myself here and like just that look at the guy. I mean, look at that feeling, look at that face, like, oh, I'm sorry, I fucked up, you know, that kind of deal. So it's probably that the response will be way better than you anticipated. Now let's see what is in the final spot here as the soul. Yeah, well, there's a Father of Swords in reverse. A Father of Swords in that spot, well, it is, it is leaning up against false authority, in a sense, because it's in the soul spot. So, yeah, the Son of Swords right here maturing into a Father of Swords can be read like this, but since it's in the middle, so you being all up in your fields, and on the other hand, some very cautious counterpart, right, is going to make you realize something about a very logical authority figure in your life or way of doing things, right? So that Father of Swords energy is where you're like, actually they don't have it together at all. Actually they just fucked it up, right? Actually I was idealizing their choices, but they just didn't see, for example, right? There was just like this Son of Pentacles where they didn't realize that it wasn't that logical after all, right? Yeah, maybe that Father of Swords is giving a sword back in that sense. Whatever it is, you are well on your way, and even though it is tough to grasp that this is part of your journey, it is part of your journey. It is part of your journey to, I mean, like, you're an Aries, you know how to like withstand conflict and tell people how you feel, or like, or what you need, what you demand, right? But this time you're trying to gently almost break in, and then just like really breaking open, right? Opening your heart towards all this emotion that this carries, and with that get a new beginning in whatever you were trying to manifest here, right? Because that Son of Pentacles is also like a new beginning. So if this is a relationship, I bet they just didn't fucking know that you felt the way you felt or feel the way you feel, right? And they're going to be like, okay, let's try this differently. Now, whether you want to try this differently, that's on you. I'd say if the guy, like, just be aware of this Father of Swords energy. Like, if it's too logical for you and you feel your feelings aren't like still not fully appreciated, right? So it could be like, watch out for gaslighting, for example, right? If you open up your heart and they'll be like, okay, let's sit down and let's be all logical about it. And at a certain point during the meeting or the conversation, you feel like you're stupid for having those feelings. That's gaslighting. That's when your alarm signal should pop off and you'll be like, no, 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 wait, it doesn't matter, right? I feel the way I feel, and we have to respect that, right? So that is a very beautiful thing, and it's going to either alter your path that has not exactly been the way to go before, right? The star card is also about balance, by the way, right? On the usual card, there is the goddess or the angel playing with the water, right? So this is all about you like being in touch with your emotions, with your water energy, and like clear about it. That is that Aquarius energy in it, right? The water bearer, knowing why we feel how we feel. But since it's in reverse, it's like, yeah, you are rearranging that path, right? So it is either a different path or to be walked in a different way, right? And that Son of Pentacles basically paves that way, right? I mean, like, for your particular situation, you have to decide, right? This is the challenge, right? You have to decide whether you want it or not. So, but the advice strongly is, if you show your emotions truthfully and honestly and without trying to hurt someone, but just like show yourself, and you feel gaslighted, that's an alarm signal. That's a red flag. So be careful with that. But everything else is like well, it's not exactly an easy experience, right? But you are manifesting some really beautiful energies out of this being in your head all the time. Like, there's something you really need to tell, and the time is not exactly working against you, but be aware that they might not be aware. So this might dampen your anger a bit, where you're just like, have you ever thought about blah? About me? About how I feel in this? Like this kind of, right? Probably, chances are they didn't, because to them it probably wasn't a big deal, and then they realized, like, shit, okay. And there's two ways for them to go about this. Like, okay, I see, for you it's a big deal, so we do it differently. Or, well, it shouldn't be a big deal at all. Have you ever thought about this, blah? Right? So that is the energy you need to look out for. Like, be aware of. If they're trying to gaslight you, fuck them. But it seems like there is a very beautiful new beginning on the horizon, in which you are heard and felt, and you can be emotional without trying, like, holding behind the bush, beating around the bush, right? So that is a very beautiful reading, especially for this September, Aries, trust me. If that resonated with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe. Also, if you want to go in depth, I do online tarot readings. So feel free to book a reading via the link and, well, in the channel links and in the header and all that stuff. And drop me a message, and we see, like, I'll devote all my attention to your situation and see how we maneuver it. I'd love to be of service. Thank you, Aries. I love you.